Arvada's Attic highlights the history of our town. In this segment, a high school student finds passion in preserving the past. A grassy knoll dotted with monuments stands tribute to the vanished town called Ralston's Crossing. Known as Ralston Cemetery, the hill is the final resting place for some of Arvada's earliest pioneers.
Ralston's Crossing started about 1860, as it was incorporated in 1860. It was definitely alive before that. It actually even had a couple buildings, especially the stagecoach stop here in 1849, which was even before the finding of gold at Ralston's Creek.
Matthew Prithrow, a student at Ralston Valley High School, can tell you a lot about Ralston's Crossing and the people who lived here.
It had a blacksmith shop, it had a grocery store. The blacksmith shop is actually now a private residence, just maybe about half a mile north of here.
Not far away, at 74th and Indiana, a church from Ralston's Crossing still stands. And another building that began as a church and later served as a school is preserved at Lakewood's Heritage Center. Few other physical reminders of Ralston's Crossing remain, except the cemetery, located near 64th and Indiana, now surrounded by homes. Over the years, a few made efforts to clean it up or preserve it. But it wasn't until Matthew came along that the cemetery, fading due to neglect, vandalism, and weather, began to thrive. Matthew's interest began while volunteering with the Arvada Historical Society.
And he came across the documentation and, it struck interest in him. So he decided to go over there and check it out and just saw this, pioneer cemetery that was really in disarray.
The first day we went here, we went exploring, writing down the headstone and inscriptions.
But with so many headstones and markers chipped or decayed, Matthew was certain there was more to learn about those buried here. He convinced a University of Denver team to help with ground-penetrating radar on half the cemetery.
From the ground-penetrating radar, we located 23 unmarked graves in those areas scanned. Most of them we don't even have names for.
I think that there were quite a few more than they had originally anticipated. So that was one of the first really big things that he had done with Ralston Cemetery.
It's possible there could be 80 or 90 burials here, according to Matthew. The oldest stone in the cemetery commemorates the short lives of triplets named Ira, Ida, and Charles Osborne, who all died in 1869.
It's a sad story. They all died within a day, a week, and I think 2 months of being born, and so it was a very sad time for the family.
For a time, the cemetery was even known as Osborne Hill Cemetery, named because the family was the first to own the land. Other family names stand out too.
Isabella Brinkerhoof, the wife of James Brinkerhoof, she actually would come up here every now and then and bring flowers to the grave sites.
Matthew has spent countless hours as caretaker of the cemetery, researching and documenting historical evidence and developing a website. Because of his research, Ralston Cemetery was one of 6 properties accepted to the 2011 Most Endangered Places list by Colorado Preservation Incorporated, which means more support for preservation efforts.
The program was started in 1987. Since then, we have provided funding, we've provided technical assistance, building advocacy around these sites for over 125 throughout the whole state of Colorado.
And also, because of his efforts, Matthew was nominated for a special award from the Arvada Young Professionals Organization.
We certainly know that he will excel at whatever he decides to do. So please join me in recognizing Matthew as the Rising Star recipient.
It's very inspiring to see and very cool to see someone still in high school who's taken the time to research 150 years of history, be able to be so articulate about it, and weave the past, the present, and really lay a path for the future.
As for his own future, Matthew is certain it will have something to do with the past.
It'd have to be something in history. I don't care what it is, whether it's museum studies, archaeology, anthropology. I just want something to do with Colorado and its history.